What's up, guys? Doing a playback yesterday starting at about 11. I already did this playback up until actually one of these trades. I think it was up to this one, and we got stopped out here. But I want to see something. I want to make this fit. I wasn't planning to make this video, but I think it's extremely crucial if we get, especially if we get the scalp here. So, but let me go ahead and explain this one. I wasn't gonna make a video, but I just put it on the Instagram. There's scuff losses. This previous one, because I remember we got stopped on that one, but now we can see something here. So this is a clear range day. I mean, that's as clear as a range day as it can get. Probably not as clear, but there could be clear, but pretty clear range day. These levels of support are gonna play a lot more, have a lot more of a bigger role. And so even though here at this point you had just a couple tests here, it becomes an overall uptrend. Just because you tested it there, and tested it there, and it bounced every single time, so that becomes an overall uptrend, especially since it broke up above these highs. But it's not an important high. The side's only been tested twice, so that would be a spike over there, and just since it's a spike, it's just overall uptrend, right? Then also validate the overall uptrend, so you just go for the sell right there. And here, if we get the scalp, there's something very interesting here that I want to say. So let's just go ahead and 30x it. Nice. So we got it. So the thing about this, and even though you see it's not here, it's over here. And the reason why is because of this. You have these kind of this low here, right? Then you push on lower there. Then you push on lower there. So if you can even see it, those lows are just actually getting lower and lower. If you can see that right there. And so that's going to create that overall downtrend. That's something you have to pay attention to, especially when they're lined up like that. I mean, these couple bars right there, and you can really see it down there too. So that's what's going to create the overall downtrend. They're not necessarily overlapping bars, because I mean, technically 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4. I mean, sort of to kind of create the overall trend, but it's the fact that you have that low and you kept pushing down lower and kept pushing down lower and those people kept getting stopped out essentially. So that's what's going to create the overall downtrend. It's a little bit of a weird one, but it takes some time, because the reason it's not a congestion to push up is because you have a little bit of a gap in here. You see that gap and then a little bit of a gap in there. You don't want those gaps. You want those highs and lows to be nice and flat, kind of like this over here. If you see those highs there. Or let's see if there's another instance. Kind of like this, like those highs. See how overlapping that is? Of course, that's just over here, but yeah, you want it to look like more like that, especially on the minute chart. So that's what's going to create the overall downtrend there, and that's why you go for the buy. Oh, and I didn't even explain this one, but it's overall trend up. This one's kind of important too, in regards to like learning lessons. You have huge spikes in that direction. That's going to create the overall trend up. Kind of same thing with big moves with consolidation. The overall trend is going to be the move with the most spikes, and in this case, it's this uptrend. And even though you get the two-legged pullback, the overall trend is still up, because if you take a look at it, we kind of drew it out on the minute chart earlier, but you have this, right? And you're still kind of in that trend, so that's why it's still an overall trend up at that point on that swing high right here. First entry, second entry, and a non-obvious sell, you get in just by one tick, more than enough than it's scalp, obviously. And yeah, yep. But now we can see that we tested that level again, so we broke down, but then we tested it again. So this could potentially be, I have no idea. Let's just see. That would mean overall trend would be up, so we would sell here. I don't think we're going to be able to get into this. Our scalp is like way over here somewhere. Come on, pull back. Tab. Oh gosh. So that would have worked, right? I don't know why I was buying. Obviously, overall trend was up, so you go for the sell, and that easily works out. Yeah. And I think we'll just do one more trade just because it's 11:30 now. I did it at 11 just because that's like around the time I would get back from work, and then we still trade at 11, but not so much after like 11:30 or to 12. maybe most of the time. But swing low, first entry, second entry. This one I know we got stopped out on. Let's play a spike. That's a level of resistance. Let's say it's a spike. Let's buy. I think that's what we did last time. We tried to buy, but it backfired on us. But let's go ahead and see. I think it corrects all the way. It's actually just one big move now that I think about it. And you had a high there. You got that's just one big massive move. Yeah, I don't like that big massive move. Let's go for the sell. So swing low, first entry, pushed up higher. All right, we're in the trade. Okay. So the buy is the best option, even though it's a huge move up. You kind of have this move to correct it with, to back it up, saying you don't need a two-legged move because you have this huge drop, and that's just market moves in twos. So you have a two-legged move down or two-legged move up, but then you also have a one move down and a one move up. So it kind of mirrors, kind of moves in twos. So the buy there is the best thing to do. You don't always need that two-legged correction, especially with this a spike like this, because people see that. And but besides, you do have your two-legged correction by the time you get here. I don't know what the heck. That's a correction right there, Nick. Spike up. I'm an idiot. That's your correction. Buy. Why was I selling? What in the world is wrong with me? Yeah. All right, that's it. Peace out. Let's do one more. YOLO. Okay. Oh, I don't know if you know or mentioned, but this is when I increased the scalp. I don't know. By the time I'm watching this video again, I probably decreased it back. But we are at 31 tick profits and 30 tick stop loss. Just because I think it's best for our strategy. You see that entire move? Like, that's the move you're trying to capture. That entire move is what you're trying to capture. That entire move is what you're trying to capture, not just like half of it. Because a lot of the times the market's going to do some low correction, then spike up in that direction. That's why I want to increase our stop loss, but also increase our gains. We could probably even increase this significantly more, like add 3-4 more points. But I think for now, I think this is going to be okay. Yeah. Maybe if we switch to 2 contracts, we'll scalp out where we want the other one. We'll put that one higher and just leave our stop loss where it is, and don't even move it to, actually, yeah, maybe move it to break even. But yeah, most of it's by the looks of it, it looks like it should like scalp out just a couple more points. Yeah. I think that'll make everything a little bit more profitable. Maybe we'll start doing that when we're at like 2 or maybe 3 contracts. Yeah, 3 contracts probably. That way we have two contracts scalping out here and the last contract scalping up in the highest. I think I like that idea actually. Cool. Good thing I kept recording. Otherwise I would not have thought of that. Or maybe I would have. I don't know. Okay, but anyway, we didn't really break out a significant high. It's all whoop-de-doo highs. So we're going to call this an overall uptrend and potentially first 1 tick entry. To double tap, huge spike up, but it's just an overall uptrend. Let's try 1 ticker. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh, we got it. Wow. I thought we for sure were gonna get stopped out. Nice, we got it. So 1 ticker works well. I don't know if you would have gotten the non-obvious. Nope, because you would have pushed down there. So yeah, I like the 1 ticker just because if you take a look over here, it was just like 3 bars. And plus, it's not a huge pullback. It is a multiple amount of bars, but I mean, pulled back just a little bit. Like just a little bit compared to the big move. Yeah, if it pulled back like this far, then obviously if this move was maybe smaller, see here I wouldn't even do a 1 ticker. I'd do a non-obvious in this just because of that size. Is that the size of that spike compared to that? This is like almost 50% of the entire move. This big old move. That's like probably 10% of that entire move, or 5%. But you get the idea. It's just very small compared to the rest of the spike. That's why we entered a 1 ticker there. So I really like that trade, and yeah, I think we're gonna call it. Man, I think we got this, boys. Like in the bag. It's inevitable. This stuff is inevitable. our goals. You're gonna make it. Don't get discouraged because look, this ish works. You just gotta stay focused. And if it begins not to work, just take a step back, figure out what you're doing wrong, hop back into it because this strategy works. You just gotta read it right. And it doesn't work 15% of the time. I'll admit that. But guess what? That 15% is not gonna last long. You got this, Nick.